Okay, let's see if this is actually working. I think people can hear me, but I'm not sure about that. So something different is happening now that I want you to know about. Oh, that's actually why I'm online. It's not a normal stream. Normally I have two computers that I use for streaming. One is a Mac Studio, an M1 Mac Studio. That's what handles the streaming with an application called Ecamm Live. And then that computer's over on my right. Hi, Pleasing. Hi, Pleasing. And on my left is the computer I do demos with. And it's good to have a two-computer setup for me because I need to install drivers, and that requires reboots. So one of the computers can reboot all at once, and the stream will not be taken down. And I can switch computers to a Mac or project from an iPad. So it really just simplifies my life. But so one of the problems I had to solve in this dual PC setup is I didn't want to have two keyboards and two mice. So I decided to get I bought some software called Synergy, which lets the mouse go between the two computers. It works decently, and I can switch between and type. But it also creates these weird situations where, copy and paste is different because they're different keyboard shortcuts. And obviously the start menu is on the Windows machine, not on the Mac. So I had this little mini PC, which it cost me like $450. This was before RAM got expensive. So it's 32 gigabytes, 1 terabyte, and that machine's only role is to be a developer box for when I'm trying to use install OpenTablet driver. And so it wasn't playing any purpose. So I thought, let me see if I can use this small tiny box to be my streaming PC, and both of them will be Windows, so that should be easier. Oh gosh. Now it says the stream is lower than recommended. Interesting. 13. Okay. This is interesting. So I think you may be seeing maybe a stream that doesn't look so good. Let me take a screenshot of this for my sake. If I can take a screenshot. Give me a second. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm just going to copy that text. Basically, it's telling me that the current bit rate, which is 4,000 kilobits per second, is lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend a bit rate of 13,500. So I'm going to copy that because I think I need to try this the next time. So give me 1 second and let me paste that somewhere. So I'll try that next time. So stream bitrate message. Now I'm seeing the video come back to me, not only my live monitor, but also what I think you're seeing. It doesn't look too bad actually, but we'll see. Pleasing, if it looks odd, just let me know. Just let me know. So yeah, I'm using totally different software. I'm using something called Meld Studio, and the only way to see if it works is to try it live, right? There's only so much testing you can do without just doing it for real. So this is a test stream. I thought I'd do it to chat with you as I figure out little details. There's lots I need to do. How do I get my music playing again? How do I get my title screens and end screens? I think I do want to move to using Meld Studio only because it would be more convenient for me. It's only a little convenient. I wish this warning would not keep on coming up about the bitrate. But we can continue our messaging. Another thing that's simplified for me is just the Ecamm Live, the Mac software. The way it arranges its windows, it's like a whole bunch of palettes that are just floating. And yeah, you can position them, but like it's not like a full screen app where everything's just locked into place. But Meld has that, so that's very nice. It just keeps it. There's a simplicity to it. That's the important thing. So far it's working good. So you're not hearing music because I don't have any music set up. I got to figure out how to do that. I have some ideas, but we're going to have to figure that out in the stream. Pleasing, if you can hear me, again, I don't know if I asked you already, but if I sound too loud or too not loud enough, can you please just tell me? Because I need to figure that out if it's going to work, right? Okay, so I'm playing around. Please feel free, if anyone's online, just ask me a question if you want to talk about tablets. Let's see. Yeah, this is gonna make my life easier for people. Right? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm just adapting to this new UI as well, so it's all just very strange and different for me. Okay, getting 60 FPS. And Pleasing, the video looks good to you? I hope so. Okay, what can I do here? It's gonna go black for a second. So it's, yep, okay, that's good to hear, Pleasing. I've got a screen just to go black for a second. Okay, it's went black. You can still hear me, and then go off. What's interesting here is that in Ecamm, the audio you hear can be linked to the scene I'm in. I'm not sure if that's true here. So in this world, I may have to manually turn off or mute my microphone during certain scenes. So we'll see about that. So, okay, I'm going to try to create a title screen while I'm here. Let's see if this works. A title screen. And I wonder if I can pop out this chat. Oh, I can pop out chat. I don't need to. Okay, I'm going to pop out the chat. And then I'm going to close the window that I'm monitoring the live stream with. Hopefully I can come back to it. Okay? Okay, so this is good. This simplifies my life. It's just weird having my face come back at me like with the delay. First of all, just taking up space, and second of all, it's just seeing the delay is distracting me. I'm paying too much attention to it. Okay, we're gonna try to make a new scene, which is gonna be, oops, of course I clicked on it. It's gonna be I'm gonna call it a title screen. And see, I have to learn these things, right? I have to learn. Oh, I'm typing in the wrong place. That's the first thing I'm learning. Rename. That's funny. And I'm dealing with, bugs in... Oh, interesting. I think there is actually a bug now in this app. Let's see if I can view. I need to go and let me take a look at a few things here. Okay, that's fine. Oh, interesting. Okay, I can manage the stream from within Meld. I know you can't see what I'm seeing. It's a bit boring. Maybe I can enable this. No, let me do that. Let me create a scene. But I do need to switch the app a little bit. Let's see. To avoid this kind of bug. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this fixed it. I'm not able to rename scenes. That's what the issue is. Oh, that is so strange. Okay. I'm going to do that. Is keyboard input not going to the right place? Is that what the issue is? Okay. I guess that was the issue. Let's see. I'm going to rename this to title. And let me put the chat there. So sorry for any confusion. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my face back up to it. Okay, OBS, sorry, broadcaster video. Okay, face and title. And we're going to change these things around. But now you'll see some things happen now that I know how to do this. I'm going to add a layer called text. And again, we're just going to play around with this. let's see if I can. I just want to make this text on the screen. Can I edit this? Can I make it bigger? I can rotate it. It's so funny, I'm not sure if I can edit it. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, I'm gonna just put like 7 pens as the title. Well, this isn't working quite the way I want it, I'll tell you that. Let's just hit return or something on that. Paste. Huh, there we go. Yeah, there's these are just bugs. You can I pasted. I think what you're seeing is a kind of a copy of a warning because there's a bug in editing this stuff. Okay, that's wild. That's wild. And I don't know why I can't edit it. Oh wow, it's really messed up. Oh, at least I can change the font. Yeah, it's strange because this keyboard is directly connected to this app. Okay, so that's a problem I'm gonna have to solve. I think it is a bug in Metal Studio. I don't think I am to blame for this, but that's supposed to be a title, if you can see it. And actually, I'm gonna open up this. I'm gonna open up the stream. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's typing in the chat. I typed in DDD7DDD. Okay, I'm gonna delete that comment. Yeah, it's not understanding that I'm. I'm not sure if it actually is deleting the comment either. Oh, but I can open the comment. Okay, so I'm gonna open my junk comment. Let's see if that opens. I didn't do what I intended it to do. I'll say that. Yeah, this is not really quite all there, is it? This this app. I think there are just subtle bugs that need to get solved here. Like how text is edited. Basically, there's a panel that can be switched from the comment section to editing what's on the screen. And any input I type in is going to the chat. That's why you're seeing me sometimes type in garbage or just the name of the channel over and over. It's just unusual. I could probably use a virtual keyboard to fix it too. Okay, I can't really change that. It may be something that I can only edit outside of chat, outside of the stream. So we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that. It's a lesson learned. A lesson learned. Okay. I'm going to delete this other one. Let me double check in the chat. So one thing I did want to talk about tablet-wise is Huion. You know, let's talk a little bit about tablets. I'm going to have to learn how to show you my other screen. So give me a second. Let me. I gotta find. Huion made an announcement of a concept of some pen, and they teased it. It got me real confused. I was hopeful it was a real thing, but they posted today or yesterday about it, and I wanted to just share with you what it is they posted. Let's see, Huion tab, that's their... there's a couple of posts here. Yes, so I'm just gonna scroll down and find their first thing. Okay, let's see. I don't have my shortcuts on my Stream Deck set up, so I'm gonna have to reach over and do this. Okay, this is almost correct, right? Oh, there we go. That's good enough. So, you know, this was the original post that's linked here. meet Pen Tech Infinite, a concept stylus that captures our future for technology and the evolution of the art industry. And so, yeah, I was a little disappointed, but let us talk about, they've elaborated on it. Let's talk about it. So they posted, what was it, today or yesterday? This picture. Again, this is all, I guess a 3D rendering. Let's just read what it says and we can talk about it. The stylus features a built-in micro-electromagnetic damping module that enhances tactile feedback, simulating the friction and brushstroke feel of various materials, such as oil paint, pencil sketches, and watercolor. As things go, that is an interesting idea. The idea that because we do have pens like that. The Microsoft Surface Pro Pen, what's it called? Microsoft Surface Pen Slim, Surface Pen Slim 2 or something, which is an oddly shaped pen, by the way. Let me find it here. Microsoft Surface Slim Pen 2. Even though I hate these pens, these are the best ones that have ever actually existed for using the Surface. Though I don't like the drawing on the Surface, to be quite honest. So it's this one, and it's not, and it looks really thick. It's not. It's actually flat. So it's thick in one dimension. So they have a pen tip, right-click, select an LED light, eraser and top. That's all fine. Yeah, their pen looks pretty flat. And so this pen, the reason I bring this up is this pen has haptic feedback. Like it can I don't know what the right word is. It can shake. It can give you feedback when something happens. I don't know if they mentioned that here. Tactile signals, right? Now I forgot when it gives you the signals, but it can definitely even if you're not touching it, can give you a signal. Now, if you look at the specs here or this document, they talk about some things that are interesting about the pen. Number one, you have to pair it, which is typical for AES or MPP pens. Number two, you do have to use Bluetooth specifically. And number three, it's you have to charge it. They actually mentioned charging it here. So those are aspects we don't deal with EMR. You don't have to pair. You don't have to charge, and you certainly don't use Bluetooth, okay? So the reason I bring this up is for it to, give you feedback is for the pen to have what? It's got to be able to move something internally. Well, that's great. However, if that is the case, then there's energy required, right, to move or shake or whatever. Where does it get it from? It's not going to get it from the tablet. The tablet isn't putting off that much energy. It has to get it from a battery, right? And, look, I don't want to unfairly criticize the design because, you shouldn't always criticize concepts. They're trying to I love the concept. I'm trying to show you, if we accept this concept, what I mean to say is it's okay if it has a battery. I'm not complaining about that. It's okay if such a pen would have to be paired. It's okay. As long as, the concept delivers if we ever get something like this, if it delivers the value, which is a better drawing experience or new scenarios for drawing or interacting with it, I'm all for it. I'm all for a pen doing something that makes the paper feel like there's more, or the canvas feel like there's more texture. That could be interesting. Can you imagine kind of moving a little bit so it makes you think you're drawing on something with texture? That would be amazing, right? Or that things felt different with different brushes. That would be amazing, right? Could you imagine a pen that sort of, made you feel like certain brushes had more resistance than other ones, or were harder to get started, harder or softer in the feeling, not just the pressure, the feeling. So if this could provide that, I would be okay with batteries. I'd be okay with, having to pair it. So yeah, I'm not criticizing I'm not trying to shoot down the design. I think it's intriguing. I hope something like that exists. I would love to see if it would work. Yeah, it could be a nice addition, right? And we've had streams where we talk about ideating, thinking, brainstorming on tablets that are new, or new concepts, or what tablets should be. So let's thank Huion for sharing this with us. I think we should definitely thank them. Okay. Yeah, I actually like the idea here, such as oil paint. Could you imagine it doing something that makes you think the surface, you're depositing something oily instead of something that was like scratchy? A barrel roll. We do have to have barrel roll, right? We do have to have barrel roll. I think it would have to have barrel roll because it's part of what I think you'd need to have, right? To give yourself that kind of feel the tool to feel real with these brushes, because they respond to the twist of the pen, the barrel roll. So they didn't mention barrel roll here, not that I saw, but I think something obvious. We're just conceptualizing something, right? We're just ideating. So yeah. The other thing, this is in a couple of streams, Arch has mentioned this, which is, so actually I'm glad they drew it this way. So when the pen is perfectly vertical, I'm just picking up a random pen here. When the pen is perfectly vertical, all the force from you pressing down goes straight up into the pressure sensor. Now, what Arch points out is, what we all know is that when you're at an angle, some of the force goes into the barrel of the pen and is not sensed by the pressure sensor, and some is going into the pressure sensor. That's why essentially when you do IAF testing, you have to keep the pen perfectly vertical, because that's when the pen is the most sensitive to force. When it's at an angle, it's a little less sensitive, right? So his point, which he said a couple of times, is, hey, I would like to see if sensing, since we can already sense the pressure going into the pen, can we sense the pressure that's pressing against the sides? Meaning, I forgot what he called it, like the lateral pressure or something. And that's intriguing for me. Maybe that would help us provide new feelings for brushes, or new expressivity for the brushes, where we have a, and you can even think about it in two different ways. Like, could we sense that the nib is not only being pushed in, but laterally deflected? Up, left, down, left. We could also use that in doing something with the pen and or the brushes and the bristles, right? So I think Arch's idea is quite interesting. Now, it's a very complex device to do such a thing, but you could totally imagine, a nib that was capable of being sensing pushed as well as deflected, right? So I think that's an interesting idea. I think it's a very interesting idea. Then, and actually, they mentioned the word microelectromagnetic damping, and I was sort of curious about the fact that it shows. Yes, Pleasing, that sounds very like a very premium pen. Look, if this pen can do magic, maybe it'll be worth $200. Maybe, right? But it had better do magic. They mentioned damping, and this, I don't know if they meant it, but it gave me the idea. Maybe a pen like this should also be able to do things that made my strokes better. And I was just struck by the word damping. Like, if I am shaky with my pen, could it dampen the shakiness of my hand? Could it compensate for the texture of the surface in certain ways? Right? Could it help me draw better, in other words? Right? Could it keep my strokes physically more on path? I mean, you could kind of almost imagine, because as you draw a stroke, you're making these micro deviations. You could imagine the pen kind of, moving something, and so like it's kind of deflecting the path of the pen to be more straight. Is AI gonna take your job? Well, I don't know when you say your job, since I'm retired, it's not going to take that job. But will it affect a lot of jobs? Yeah, absolutely. I have yet to, this is something I need to do. I need to, oh, let me get this here. Or better yet, here. I need to have lunch or dinner with a couple of my Microsoft friends and just see how AI is affecting what they do on a day-to-day basis. I'm super curious about it. I wonder how much of what they do is being affected by AI, because a lot of them are program managers, which is very heavy on creating things, meaning PowerPoints and documents and email, of course. I have a feeling that they are being told to use AI a lot, and I'm curious how effective it is at their, in their job, and how much it's helping. I'm sure it must be helping them. Is it going to replace jobs? Yeah, I think so. I think it'll replace certain kinds of work. I've talked a lot about how, AI is helping me write a lot of code. Now, depending on the topic, I review the code quite closely, or I vaguely, kind of cursorily glance at it, depending on my interest level and what it's about. I think I can see the case that there's okay, think about like a business for a second. If you can get away with not hiring a new developer, instead of having 2 developers, you have 1, and you pay, and the cost of that is, let's just make up a number, $5,000 extra a month, not for salary to him, but as that's the bill for him using AI. Well, that's about $60,000 a year, which is a lot of money, but compared to the $250,000 you'd spend on another developer, maybe that would be, it's different hiring. It's a different equation for hiring people. Have you heard of AI automation and AGI? AI is nothing to compare to. Yeah, I have heard of AGI. I think we were talking a little bit about that last stream. I don't think we're close to AGI. I think AGI is a very big, true AGI. I think the way AI works now can become much more, like you'd think it's more clever. There's still some room to grow there, I believe. There's certainly a lot of things that can still automate, but that's still a long way off to get to AGI. That's what I see anyway. Reminds me of an article that I just stumbled in. Basically, they say employees who didn't vibe code are going to fail or something because a majority of the company is AI. Is this about Microsoft Pleasing? I do hear a general sentiment that using AI is on people's, like, I forgot I've been gone now almost 2 years. I forgot what they call it. On their performance review. Let's just use the word performance review. Like, how much did you create that used AI? And by the way, it's not Microsoft? Okay. Give me a second. I wonder if I can do something to show comments here. So give me a second. Markdown, browser, duplicator, media source. Let me take a look here. If there's something I can do. I want to see, because I want to show the comment from on the screen, but I can't do that with Meld Studio, unfortunately. So sometimes, we talk about perverse incentives, and like, I forgot which country it was, but the British were there or something, and they were like, oh, there's too many snakes. It doesn't matter if the story's true, you'll get the point. So they said to the locals, hey, look, if you kill snakes, we'll give you, I don't know, $5 for every snake you killed. And so locals started killing snakes. And then everyone games the system. So what did locals do? They started breeding snakes because every snake was $5, right? And the British would pay for it. So systems will make people do that because you start realizing whoever's in charge is only paying attention to a number. And they're not talking about the ground truth, right? So now that I say that, if you are told you have to use AI, you will do things to make that number go higher. So here's an example. I'm just using this as a simple example. I'm not saying people are actually doing this. So AI can write emails for you, right? Well, you might ask the AI, don't write a long email. Send only the first part, like chop up the email and just send it in pieces, or reply back with details the recipient will need, so that you're having a conversation. So what would have been one email is now 10. So you've 10x the use of your AI. Now, I'm not saying anyone's actually doing that. I'm not even saying it's a good example. I just wanted something simple to show you that if you start saying that you're going to be rewarded or punished by how much you do and don't use AI, people will do things to get the numbers high, right? And some of the things they do are, you can see the incentive, but you can see also how it ultimately is damaging the thing you're trying to do, right? Personally, I am using sorry, let me back up for a second. Some years ago, 2023, actually 22, there was a thing, I think it still exists, Midjourney. And my mom was obsessed with Midjourney. She was always on Midjourney. And she was always creating things. And I was always telling her, hey, why don't you quit using Midjourney and, do what I said, which is like, go learn some art fundamentals and get back to doing watercolor. But she was on Midjourney like all day, creating things. And she'd always say, look at what I created. I go, you mean what the AI created? I don't think she does that anymore. I think she's found it pretty boring now. But at the time, I couldn't figure out why it was so exciting for her. At that time, I wasn't heavily using AI for two reasons. Number one, it didn't do much interesting. And number two, I didn't use it because I just felt like it was a little too early for what I needed. Well, now with AI coding, I'm AI coding a lot. In fact, that was most of today was involved with AI. And I sort of was reminded of those conversations I had with my mother, how I spent all day, quote, creating with the AI, right? So here I am doing the same thing I was kind of upset at her for doing. But it's very productive for me. Again, I'm not doing art. I'm not using it to create art. I'm using it to write code. But yeah, it's been such a big boost for me. I don't want to go back, honestly. I don't want to go back. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to this thing. So let's scroll up to Huyan. They posted another comment here, which is, I think, above here. Yeah, this was interesting. Let me zoom out a little bit. Hang on. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to get rid of that title since it's in the way. Okay. So, maybe I should zoom out a little bit more. Okay, this is good enough. By pressing, sliding, or tapping the stylus, you can trigger your preset shortcuts. How do you feel about removing physical buttons and using these interactions instead? I thought this was interesting. Yeah, pleasant. It is like the Apple Pencil. I thought this was interesting. Over time, I'm actually considering, with my Pro Pen 3, removing the buttons, which you can do. They have a button strip with no buttons, because I'm accidentally pressing them and they're just getting in the way sometimes. I've never felt this way until recently. This is 30 years I've been using a drawing tablet. This last couple of months, I've been like, I'm getting irritated with buttons. Now, part of the why it's okay for me to leave buttons is that I use a toolbox, so I don't need the buttons most of the time when I'm drawing. So I am interested in pens that don't have buttons. So just as a baseline, right? However, when I look at, before I criticize, I just want to evaluate what I see. I like the idea of the pen letting me switch tools. I love that idea. I really do. In Clip Studio Paint, because I draw illustrations, I basically am just switching through a couple of tools. The Milli brush, which is just a marker. The like a I don't know what they call it, a pen tool to draw vectors, right? The fill tool, and the the eraser tool. Hi, Mad Max. Good to see you. Good to see you. So the idea that a pen could help switch, like you could switch what the thing did, you'd see a menu come up, is intriguing to me. It is very intriguing to me. Where I wonder about such a pen is the following. You can't see what it's selected. You know, like this menu is going to pop up. Is it going to stay there in the app? I mean, it's the app's menu, not the pen's menu. Maybe the tablet driver will show you this UI. In which case, does that menu stay? Does it go away? How do I know what the current tool is without drawing? Right? I also think this would be prone to accidental touches. If I'm already accidentally pressing the buttons, this would definitely cause me to accidentally press it. The Apple Pencil has some area which is like sensitive to a tapping, and I accidentally pressed that, right? I actually disabled that. So I like the concept of the pen delivering that value of switching tools. I think this could be made to work, maybe with haptic feedback, right? Like maybe if it's really clear that I clicked and the pen responded to that, like the pen made a motion in my hand, so I know that I did it. And it can't be oversensitive. I don't want to accidentally trigger it, right? Now, the more you make it that you have to press harder, the more strain that is on your hand. You might get tired pressing the pen, right? And I'm clumsy. Actually, sometimes when I'm fiddling around with my pen, I flip the pen out of my hand or it drops suddenly. So the idea that I'd be moving around it's just weird for me. But I like the idea. Here's a related idea. Instead of, this is just me just making stuff up, okay? First of all, the buttons on the pen could serve that same role, right? Like you could make there's a 3-button pen here. You could make the 3rd button switch tool. So you could make it today. Here's an idea. Instead of buttons or a rocker switch, why not a slider that actually had 4 or 5 positions, right? So, and why a slider? Because like with an actual like thing that stayed in its position, that way you'd know where you're at just by touching the pen. You'd know you're on tool number 1 versus 2. I don't know, just an idea. But I do think this is intriguing. I would love a pen that let me switch tools or reconfigure tools in a way that I didn't interfere with me holding the pen and didn't make me accidentally press that, because that's the challenge I have with buttons right now. So I think it's intriguing. I think it's very intriguing. So yeah, I like that they're talking like this. It's good sometimes we take a step back and see, oops, where am I at here? Yeah, it's good sometimes we take a step back and let a branch envision things, right? So I'm glad that they did this because it makes you think. Now, and who knows? Maybe one day we'll move forward. I hope, getting back to one of the things Pleasing said, I hope we're going to see, barrel rotation soon in a non-Wacom pen. Nick Tyler, good to see you. What am I looking at? The touch gestures on pen is a great idea, but they can do better. They can make it detect when you jump a trip. They can make it detect when you jump a triple backflip. I guess yeah, we're just at the beginning phase of seeing what these pens can do. Another idea, maybe we get some RGB lighting in there. I think it would look cool, and that's all I really care about. It's good tech, but it needs to be used to see if it functions properly, because even with barrel rotation, that touch thinking, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, I accidentally pressed the buttons I have on my pens. I'm obviously going to be it's going to be easier for me to accidentally press a touch strip. And it's invisible, right? I mean, or at least it seems like it would be. Like you were not sure where on the pen to touch. That's another thing I struggle with the Apple Pencil. It's like, well, where is the sensitive touch region, right? Which is why I disable it, because I accidentally trigger it because I don't know where it is. But we should think about this. But if I had to think about near term, I would just say, Huion, please get barrel rotation. That's what I'd like to see. That is what I think would benefit the most. Okay, by the way, for those of you who don't know, only Pleasing was here at the beginning. The reason there's no music is I have a different streaming machine, a Windows machine. So I'm using different software to stream with you. So there's no music because I don't know how to set that up yet. And you're not seeing comments on the screen because this new app, which is Meld Studio, I don't know a way to show you comments, right? I don't even have a title screen like I normally do, or a countdown to start screen, or an ending screen. So it's going to be a little bit of a primitive stream today. But it's something I think I will go with, at least for the next couple of streams, because it is making life simpler for me. The window management is simpler. And now I'm using two Windows machines, not Mac and Windows, which causes its own confusion. Okay, give me a second. That's okay. Perfect. I can make these. I'm going to try one more time to add something. Yeah, thank you, Mad Max. I do like talking about our tech. I think there's lots to do, right? But you know, R&D is expensive, because if someone doesn't like the thing that you've made, then the money's it's wasted. Okay, I'm going to try something just to see if I can do it. Which is, I want to put a label on the screen. Okay, so give me a moment. See if I can do this. I'm going to just put I'm going to put text here. And I was having a problem editing it last time. So let's see if this time it'll work. Nope. You cannot edit the text. You can see the text, right? It is not editable. You know, sometimes you just realize these things are way difficult. I can rotate it, but I can't make it. Can I make it bigger? I'm gonna try. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Okay, I'll give it one last try here. Background color. Can I do something with it? I can change its color. Or it's an effect actually. They have other modes. Like I can have a thing that brings in a browser window. I'm not sure if I want to do that though, because I'll usually just use the browser from my other computer. Okay, I'm gonna delete that text thing since it's irritating me. Let me reset the transform and then delete it. Okay, let me get back to the chat here. There's another thing that I wanted to show you, which was someone else has been active on Twitter. Our friend at XP Pen have a little announcement. Okay, let me show it to you. Where is it? Now I can't see it. Okay, it's on the Discord, so let me find the Discord and show it to you. It was just this morning. Okay. Oh, where is it? Yeah. Now I don't see it there anymore. I wonder if they deleted it. But you know how we are. I will show to you what we saw. So let's open this up here. Okay, here we go. And this is up from XP Pen. I couldn't find it here. I think they posted it and deleted it. I don't see it here. Let me look one more time. I don't. No, they did. Okay, I did find it. Okay. So experience a spectrum that breathes which software is your primary canvas. First look on March 20th. So they got a porpoise or dolphin or whatever touching the screen, which looks big, by the way. Coming soon, March 20th. So that was one. And they have another. Oh, yeah, they have this one. A massive stage for your grandest ideas with the X Touch solution. Guess the size of our new buddy. Coming soon, March 20th. Instead of a porpoise, now they have an eagle. An eagle with its talons panning and rotating the screen. Again, it looks big. It looks big. Do they have anything else? Yeah, we're going to have to see. I had one more picture that they posted that I couldn't find. No, that was it. That was it. So yeah, it looked big. To be honest, I'm really not into big pen displays. They're just too much. Oh, that's a good question, Pleasant. It might be an Ultra. It might be an Ultra. Because it's, yeah, you're right. That's a good that you noticed that, because they say that they have touch. That's right. That's right. So it might be an Ultra. I'm not going to get it. First of all, I'm not a tablet reviewer. I just have a lot of tablets. And I just have no desire to get a 27-inch tablet. So I will be watching, people, I assume other reviewers are going to get it. And I'll be watching those reviews like the rest of you. And I'll be sharing my feedback about what I see. The thing that I always want from XP Pen is pretty simple. I want them to improve the consistency of their X3 Pro pens. And I want them to get a better handle on tilt compensation and diagonal wobble. Some of their tablets actually do handle those things well, but some don't. Or I shouldn't say that they don't. A lot of these things you may not ever notice, but sometimes you do, especially if you're looking for them. Okay, so I just want them to be as good as like Huion. That's all. Hopefully with X4 instead of X3, yeah. Look, still so far only one tablet they have has the X4 pen. You can't even buy the X4 pen on their store, so I can't when I test a pen, I like to have 3 pens to test. So I can't even, I can't tell you anything with certainty about the X4. I don't know if it's any better than the X3 or not. I certainly hope it is. So my issue now is that both XP Pen and Huion, I'm going to put my face back on. They have not had they haven't had any pen tablets come out recently. I mean, it's a little unfair that I say that about XP Pen because the Deco Pro is not that old. But Huion hasn't had one in quite a while. I think the Inspiroi 2 was the last set. I don't know which year that is, but like in that time, they've had the PW600 series pens, and that's what I want to see. I want to see pen tablets with these new PW600 pens because those are the best pens they have. And I like my Huion Giano, despite it comes with just kind of a pen. I use it with the better pen, the PW550 series, but come on, let's update this. They've been releasing a lot of pen displays, which is great, but and I have a bunch of them, but I want to see pen tablets come from them. So that's what happened there. Something else to show you. Give me a second. Let me get to 7pens.com. So I just want to show you, I updated one of my tools. Or I linked to it from my set. Nick, you are not tripping. That is, in fact, what you're hearing. I opened up the window because the upstairs was getting a little bit warm. So yeah, those are. I don't think they're cicadas. I think they're frogs, or crickets, or something. Because cicadas are only once every what? They're like once every 8 years or something. But I think these are frogs or crickets, not cicadas. Fraygo's decent, Mad Max. I mean, the tablet itself is fine. It's the pen is actually pretty good. The only thing is some people get the Fraygo notice that some people, not everybody, notice that the Fraygo model develops air bubbles. Now, I don't think it's super common. Lots of people get the Fraygo, so we probably see a few more reports than with other tablets. It doesn't happen with mine. I don't think anyone I personally know on the Discord has experienced it or has mentioned it. Bubbles in tablets is kind of rare, but we do see that it experiences it. We don't know the cause. We don't know if it's temperature or heat or something, but it does seem to be something there. Okay, let me shift my face over. So I do have my drawing tablet simulator available, which is now up. I want people to see it. This is why I spent some time with AI today, just revising. And what I did was I just upgraded the code to fix a bunch of issues. Not fix issues, more like clean it up. So let me paste it in here. So it's still, I would say it's still kind of rough, but I just want to demo it's available for you to use. And so you can do things like I'll zoom in for this one. You can zoom in and change the hover distance, right? You can change, let me put it back to 0. You can move the X and Y position. And you can change the tilt. Here's the tilt altitude, right? This line tells you where the top of the pen is. Now, the tilt also, what happens if you tilt it and you lift the pen up? It'll actually show you. Oops, I can't draw it. I can't drag it easily. Let me drag it a lot. Okay. The yellow line here is the position directly underneath the tip, and this extended white line is where the pen is pointing, right? You live close to water. That explains your artistic connection with Pepe. Yes, there is a pond. It's a big pond. I'm facing the rear of my house, so I'm above this pond, and that's around the pond. You hear this? That's why I think it's frogs, because I think they're just in. I've always assumed it was frogs. I'm not sure what they actually are. But they get loud as it starts getting towards spring and summer. They get loud. Normally I have the windows closed, but I just wanted to open up a little bit because it was getting just a bit stuffy upstairs. And normally you can't hear them because with my normal streaming software, there's some processing going on. which removes like room noise, air conditioner noise, that kind of things. Those kinds of sounds. And I know you can see it because as I quit talking, I can see it bounce up a little bit just because of that sound. So, and then we can change the tilt azimuth, which is which direction the pen is pointing at. And let me zoom in here a little bit. Let me change the azimuth, that's more obvious. You can change the barrel rotation, right? And I added some new stuff I have not showed people, because I showed part of this to people before. Let me reset the pen. So I added the pointer, like it's almost like a pen display, showing where the pointer is, and it's abnormally perfect. But you can actually have it become somewhat deflected, right? So you can make the pointer be a little bit off of where it's pointing. You can also change the tilt compensation to have problem at certain tilts. And you can, guess what? Introduce a scaling problem. Let me do let me put the offset back to, whoops. Let me reset the pen. Actually, let me reload the app because it's all messed up now. Okay, so the pointer is perfect. It's pointing underneath the tip of the pen. And what I'm going to do is show you pointer tracking. And I'm going to turn on the scaling factor to show you it's perfect. This is the kind of problem you'll see on some pen displays. I'm going to hold down the space key and drag the mouse. See, sometimes you get a pointer tracking issue like this where it's deflected, but it depends on where the pen is. And it's very accurate at one position right now, but it gets more and more inaccurate as you get toward the edges. That's one kind of inaccuracy with PC and pen displays. Nick says, yeah, I lived a mile from a pond once and mating season, I could hear them even from mile distance. Yeah, they are very loud. They're very loud. I used to really hate it. Now I'm actually I'm more okay with it, though I still prefer it to be quieter. So there's another kind of tracking problem. I'm going to reload this, which is tracking is accurate everywhere except very close to the edges. So I wanted to show you that. And this is called edge attraction, which is, I'm going to jack it up to 100 or 1. And it's going to be a very large distance that the pen will be affected by. So let's move the pen over. Watch this. Let me zoom in. Oops, I'm too much. See, it's still perfectly. Now, let's zoom in. Let's move it over. Whoa. See, the pen is repulsed by being near the edge. It's just repulsed, right? Completely repulsed. So let's show you something a little less like a wall. So by changing the edge attraction, I'll change it to like, maybe I messed up some of the code here actually. It's supposed to be attracting, not pushing. Let's try it like this. See, now it's not like hitting a wall. It's like, it's sort of shifting a little bit as you get toward the edge, right? You see what I'm getting at? Frogs are great because they eat mosquitoes, and that is true. I hate mosquitoes. That's also why I like dragonflies, so they eat mosquitoes. At least that's what I've heard. And then I added some animations to this. Let me reload this thing. You can animate all the rotations. It's cool. It's just cool. Mad Max, yes, eventually. I eventually want it to hook up to the stylus of an actual tablet so that it will literally move with what your tablet actually does. The only reason I didn't start it that way is because in my first attempt at this, I was having trouble understanding how to use the stylus what they call the pointer events in a web page. And on top of that, I didn't know how to map this rotation stuff for tilt and barrel rotation. Now that I've got that solved, I'm actually going to have this reflect, like if you attach a stylus, a tablet, it'll actually show you what's happening live, okay? Now it's going to be interesting because like the stylus is noisy with tilt especially. So you'll see like it's not as beautiful as this animation. So yeah, I'll definitely do that. Absolutely. The other thing, and you can save these images as a PNG if you, because they're useful in demo. So let me tell you about the next set of features, okay? So I'm going to zoom out for this because it's kind of hard to explain. Okay. Oops. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So it's a tablet, right? The first thing is it looks a bit odd just floating in space, right? Like you can actually rotate it and see it from the side. I'm going to add a desk, okay? So it looks somewhat more natural to see this thing. Okay, so the tablet will be sitting on a desk. That's part one. The desk will be deeper than you might expect because what happens next is, and I can't really draw it exactly, I'm going to add a monitor, okay, like over here. And the pointer, I'll have the pointer both here and on the monitor. Sort of like as a ghost here as well as on the monitor. So you see how a pen tablet actually works. So I can demonstrate what a pen tablet does to people without having a pen tablet, right? Because it's very hard to explain to them by capturing a video what happens, right? And I also want to add pointer lag, right? So you can see the lag of this pointer. I thought maybe I added it. Maybe I didn't add it. I guess I didn't. I will add pointer lag, okay? So it's going to be another just incredible piece of the simulation, right? Then I'm going to add, so if I add a monitor, obviously this is a pen tablet, the screenless tablet. I'm going to add pen display mode, whereas instead of a monitor, you're going to see the screen on the tablet, okay? So I'm going to have like a fake Windows or Mac screen projected here. So you get a better sense of a pen display would work, right? Now, another thing I'm thinking about adding, this gets complicated though, is, so pretend I have a pen tablet. So first I add a monitor, right? Like right here. To add multiple monitors and talk about mapping the tablet to the monitors, right? And different aspect ratios maybe. Because this is, again, it's there to illustrate things that occur which are kind of hard to film sometimes or not easy to film for various reasons, right? Because it's just not obvious how some of these, multiple monitors, the monitors are in different physical places, but the tablet, the computer doesn't know that. So yeah, those are some of the things that I want to add. I also just want to improve the way this looks, right? Like it's very basic. I actually just want it to look a bit better. Maybe use some kind of, I don't know, more light. I don't know what the hell. I'm not a 3D guy. I want to use some like lighting effects, right? So yeah, that's something I definitely am curious about seeing this work on. But yeah, this has been proven useful for me because I made a video about it. And also it's supposed to be a teaching tool because lots of times I need to show something and like taking a photograph is difficult. It's very difficult because all the pens are black plastic and the tablets are black plastic and you just can't see what you're looking at. But this solves that problem. Now what I'm gonna look for also, okay, sorry, now I'm just ranting. Right now the entire tablet has an active area. I actually want to add a bezel to the tablet, okay? And maybe even add buttons. They're non-functional, but just to help you see that it's a tablet. And also, this pen shape is just a cylinder with a cone. I wanted to see if I can find a model of like a Pro Pen 2 and use that. So it seems like a normal pen, right? Not this kind of like fake pen here. I also want these annotation. I call these annotations, these lines and these circles, these discs. I want them to glow, like in the movie Tron or something, right? Or at least have the option for it, right? So yeah, lots of little things that I have planned here to make this like a fun tool to show. Sometimes I just open this tool up and just look at it because I think it's pretty as hell, right? And again, it's for teaching. It's for teaching. Though I think the once we get the stylus input, it'll be interesting. What I want to do, okay, this is another wild idea I have. So once the stylus is in there, let me take a quick bio break and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna change it to black, and you're not gonna see me, but I'll be right back. Okay, so be right back. Quick bio break. BRB, and I'm gonna mute the microphone. Okay, I'll be right. Okay, I am back, and here I am. Okay, so I didn't have my be right back message because it is what's the right statement? It is I'm using the new software. I haven't set it up yet, so hopefully it wasn't too confusing. Okay, let me read the comments. I have HQ ProPen 2 model, but you won't be able to render it in real time. V-Ray rendering is very slow. Interesting. Thanks for the comment, Mad Max. It's a good tool. Thank you. Interesting. Some of the comments are duplicated when I came back. Okay, now another thing I want to do, which I'm gonna have to find the video, and I'm gonna have to mute it because YouTube will go crazy. Cannot. I gotta be careful typing this guy's name in either. Let me just, yeah, okay, that's. So it has to deal with Kanye West. Okay, yes, this tool plus Kanye West. Okay, so let me just open up his song Stronger, I believe around 2007. So I'm going to fast forward because there's an effect that happens in this, which, yeah, here it happens. Here it goes. Okay, I just want you to see the effect. I think it was inspired by something from the anime Akira. Okay. Okay, what? See that? See the light cycle? The light trails on the bicycles? Yeah, you saw that? Right there? Okay. Okay, it looks cool, right? Yes, it does look very cool. What I want to do is, this is just for fun, okay? So remember I said I'm going to allow you to use a tablet with this simulator so that the pen will animate like with the tablet, like what you're actually doing. It'll lag it a little bit, but yeah, it'll work. This is what I want to see. I want it to leave a light trail like those motorcycles in the Stronger video. Totally Akira, right? That's what I thought. There we go. It's an awesome style. So I want that light trail. So basically I want this to play back a video of your stroke that matches what you did in the same amount of time you did. And then all these rotations, so the position of the pen and all these rotations each have a light trail, right? Again, look, this is not helpful for anybody. It is not helpful for anybody. It is just meant to be cool looking, okay? Because one thing I liked, I've seen this in ads. Let me just see the Wacom. There's the Wacom Cintiq Pro 27 when they reveal it, right? They had an ad for it on the Wacom channel. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, watch this, and you'll see why I kind of like it. Okay, there should be no audio because otherwise I'll get in trouble. Okay, watch this. Somewhere here they'll do it. Yeah, here we go. Like that, right? They have this video where the pens are like creating these light effects through space, right? I don't want this effect, but you get the idea, right? I love this look, by the way. Let's see if we can find another example of this. Ghost hands. Do I have a picture? I know they did it. There's like one where you really saw the pen draw. So yeah, I want to do a version of that with the pen leaving this color. And now that I saw that Wacom video, maybe I do want to have ghost hands hold the pen. It's going to be weird because, like, you know, some rotations are not possible, like this rotation I showed you here. Where I rotate everything. A human being cannot do this. Like you'd have to twist your arm like around like this. A human being cannot make that transition, right? So some values are not just physically possible. I mean, some motions aren't because they would twist your hand off. But as an animation, it all makes sense. But I guess that's a challenge in trying to have a hand simulated because, like, it would restrict what this thing can do because the hand will tilt in weird ways. But I don't know. That was just an idea, I guess. That was just an idea. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to make sure you all knew about because it happens tomorrow morning. Let me see if I can find the link here. Hang on. I know I posted it. Yeah, here we go. So Brad Colbo posted this. So join me. This is Brad. He is going to live stream tomorrow, Wednesday, March 18th at noon Eastern Standard Time. So join me. A lot of news to cover with new Clip Studio 5.0 release. Adobe losing a big court case. I hadn't heard of that. And NVIDIA bringing AI slop to games with DLSS 5. I heard of that. I don't know. Some people really got upset about it. I didn't get really upset about it. It was just like, more of this, huh? I love the look he gave himself in his face. He's just like, he's frightened. Like he's something he saw is scary. But yeah, I'm definitely going to watch this tomorrow. So 9 a.m. So that's 8.5 hours from now. So just as a reminder for those of you who live maybe who are awake at that time, check his stream out. I think that I love his channel. I love his his discussions on art and tablets. So I will definitely be there. Okay, I think that's it. I just wanted to cover a few things and do this as a test stream. So everything went good. The computer didn't crash. I did discover a few bugs in this Meld Studio. Maybe next time I will continue with Meld Studio and try to see if I can work around these bugs. Maybe I'll switch to OBS Studio, which is what everyone uses. But it was pretty easy on Meld. So I'm pretty happy overall with what happened. It was definitely much easier for me to deal with two computers that were both Windows, because shifting between Windows and Mac it's just confusing because the shortcuts are different, and it can really messes with me in the live stream to do that. So this worked out much better. The other thing is, this computer is not as powerful as the Mac Studio that I was using, but it's definitely, if I look at the CPU utilization, let's just take a look at it. Task Manager. I know you can't see it. CPU basically is going to like, as I'm just going to move around this screen here and see how it reacts to me doing things. So I'm going to move this around to see like if its encoding is like suffering because of this. CPU utilization is going from 6 to 9, 11, 8, 10, 11. I saw it hit 12 before I started this. So doing this is not taking the hit. It's not causing some sort of... So this computer, and it's only 32% of the memory is being used out of 32 gigabytes. So this is not causing problems. It's not straining this computer at all to do the stream. So I like this. I like this a lot. This just will simplify my life. Okay, with that, I'm going to call tonight. Thanks, everyone. I will be back soon. Maybe... Let's see what happens in Brad's stream. I almost certainly, when we get more details about the XP Pen that will be what? 19th is... That's Thursday, I think. I will almost certainly, when we find out more, we'll live stream just the announcement. Again, I'm not going to get the tablet, but at least we could talk about what they say and what it might mean and what we should ask reviewers to look for. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you all soon. Bye. And now I have to figure out how to shut down the stream. Because that's new to me. Okay, let's see. You're going to see something that normally you don't see. Since I don't, it's a totally new software. Okay, first I say, I don't know if I can't shut down the stream from this app. I may have to shut it down from YouTube. Okay, first